Pokemon was created so kids could have fun whilst exploring a new world, capturing and training Pokemon to be the best. This is known to bring joy to people as they escape reality. And we're dead anyway. RIP. Nice knowing you, chat. So why on earth are Pokemon in this world so freaking messed up? Welcome back guys, it's Elwood here from Not So Serious Gaming. Today we'll be recreating Pokemon with AI once again. But instead of iconic Pokemon from Generation 1, we will be unearthing the darkest entries within the Pokedex to see what Bing can create, so let's dive straight into it. Musharna is a cute fluffy pink and purple Pokemon from the Dream World, but the Pokedex entry from Pokemon Sword is pretty damn dark. When dark mists emanate from its body, don't go near. If you do, your nightmares become reality. This doesn't actually sound too messed up for some of the entries we actually have on this list, so make sure you stay tuned for those ones. But this is still pretty damn freaky. I would definitely not want my nightmares to become reality, that's for sure. So let's go see what Bing can create. Bam, 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 bam. Holy hell. They are freaking dark and messed up. Like compared to this cute little fluffy thing, they are pretty damn messed up. Okay, so starting off with this one. This, of course, well, none of these, of course, look anything like the original Pokemon, but it's got Pokeballs in it, so that's going to count for something, right? It looks kind of like a snake sort of thing with arms, and, I mean, it's definitely the thing of nightmares, that's for sure. This next one's pretty cool, but I'm not a big fan of, like, its random arms coming out of its multiple necks. I mean, it's still pretty creepy. I do like this one. Its body reminds me of, like, a dog, so like I guess it's kind of like Cerberus with like the multiple heads, but I'm not the biggest fan of like the multiple arms coming out the necks at all. But like overall it's quite a cool Pokemon. I like the weird like that actually kind of reminds me of a Pokemon. I of course, as you guys know, I don't know too much about later generations, but like let me know what Pokemon you think that this one could like remind you of, because it reminds me of something, I'm just not sure what. This next one is probably my favorite of all of them, and I don't know if I'm a little bit biased because like you got the ghosts on the outside, what kind of remind me of like Gengar and that, which I think is really cool. It has like its own minions with it. Yet again, it's kind of like a snake serpent sort of type of body, but it has got some like messed up dragon wings, which I think is pretty cool. It's got like one like bird claw thing there, and then like take my strong hand sort of thing going on here. But I think like, I mean actually I guess as a Pokemon it's not really the best Pokemon. It's the coolest design in my opinion. It's freaking scary as hell, like very demonic and stuff. I love like the moon backdrop and that. I mean that definitely helps. The background complements it quite a bit. But as far as a Pokemon and looking like the other one, no, definitely nothing like that in the slightest. I mean, what do we expect though? The fourth one, yet again, we've kind of got like that dog sort of body with like a serpent tail yet again. It's not Cerberus style because there's only one head for a start, but I really quite like that. It kind of has like a haunter head sort of thing with, actually, this gives me like Hollow Knight vibes a bit with the head. Like if you kind of like block out a lot of it, it kind of gives me Hollow Knight vibes, which I'm gonna say I love Hollow Knight, so that's pretty cool. I like this one. The colors are probably the closest one to the original Pokemon, being purple. The next one, I'm not gonna lie, is the entire one what inspired this entire video, and that's Hypno, because in Moon it states, as a matter of course, it makes anyone it meets fall asleep and has a taste of their dreams. Anyone having a good dream, it carries off. Which, okay, doesn't sound too much at first. It's like, wait, if they're having a good dream, it's carrying them off? What's that? Are they kidnapping them? Like, what? What? But then, this is where it gets interesting. In Pokemon X and Fire Red, it states, it carries a pendulum-like device. Which, yeah, cool. Woo. But there once was an incident in which it took away a child it hypnotized. Like, what? Like, that definitely confirms what it's hinting at in Moon, because, like, it literally states it's kidnapping hypnotized children. Like, what the freaking hell? And then we do have one which I'll honorably mention as well, because it's still kind of messed up, and that's in Gold. It states, when it is very hungry, it puts humans it meets to sleep. Then it feasts on their dreams. which isn't too bad. I mean, I don't know what it would be like having your dreams eaten. I don't actually dream much myself, so like, anyone who does dream, let me know what you think it would be like to have your dreams eaten. Let me know in the comments down below. But for this one, I'm gonna of course put on the Pokemon X and Fire Red entry about it being hypnotized. So let's have a look, see what this comes up with. They look nothing like Hypno. But they've all definitely gone for the pendulum idea. I think we'll start from them one at a time. So we got this one on the far left here. It's kind of creepy that there's a baby, I'm not gonna lie. Talking about carrying away children, and you have like some weird baby thing there, so it's kind of weird. But I do like the dream. What are they, dream catchers? Yeah, Dreamcatcher. I haven't said that word in a while. Yeah, I do like the Pokemon Dreamcatcher in the background. That's really cool with a like Pokeball on it. I wish kind of like they kept them all like the same coloring, because they're all metal, like gold, bronzy, metal looking things. And then that's just the Pokeball. If they'd kept that like the same color and just had it as a Pokeball, I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, I'm kind of creeped out with the baby. I don't know why. So moving on, this one I think is pretty cool. You got, I assume that Pokemon looking thing is jumping up at it. I guess that's meant to be the Hypno. I mean, some part of me is saying that is definitely the Hypno, because he just looks creepy looking, and we all know Hypno is freaking creepy looking. But it does look like a guy dressed up in a suit as well. So like, yeah, because like only because of the gloves. If the head wasn't there and he had like blue arms, I'd say like, that's the person, like, is that meant to be a tail coming out there or something? I don't know. He's a weird, like, rabbit looking thing. That is like a baby little Ash, which I think is just adorable. Yeah. But yeah, I think that one's just funny. Definitely doesn't look like Hypno. I guess out of all of these, he's probably the closest to Hypno. But yeah, then this one, you've just got yourself a Dreamcatcher with the things what are dangling down. Not a big fan of the design of the Pokemon in the center. It does kind of look like a Pokemon, or at least a Palmon. Palmon? Is that what they're called? I can't think. I haven't played Palmon in freaking ages. I really need to play that again. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, I kind of wasn't expecting to be getting more, like, all of these to be, like, the Dreamcatcher type designs. That kind of threw me a bit. But yeah, anyway, let's switch over to this very last one. It carries a Penegdon-like device. There once Naz in accident which take a Wawa child by Hypnotazon. Okay, I love it when AI tries to write. Dali definitely can't write freaking anything properly, but it makes me laugh, so that's all that counts. There's no Pokemon there, so I feel like that's a bit of a letdown. There is a Pokeball kind of hidden in the background, but I've got to say my favourite is definitely by far the second one. So let's move on to the next Pokemon. Drifloon. This one's going to be good. Drifloon has many entries, and it refers to how it likes to kidnap kids, such as in Scarlet, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. It states, "It is whispered that any child who mistakes Drifloon for a balloon and holds onto it, it could end up missing." It could wind up missing, but I pretty much said that. But to be honest, they do not compare to how funny and brutal Pokemon Sun entry is, because stories go that it grabs the hand of a small child and drags them away to the afterlife. It dislikes heavy children. Which I think is freaking funny. It's freaking brutal. It's just like, yeah, if you're a fat kid, we're not going to try kidnap you, but any of these little skinny kids, you're mine. Which I think is jokes. So we're going to be whacking that one into this freaking bing, bada boom. And let's get this done. I hope this comes up with some funny stuff. I hope there's a fat kid. Bum, bum, ba, 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 boom. Oh, holy freaking macaroni. That's come out stuff I was not expecting. Okay, so let's get on to this first one. Okay, so this is kind of like, definitely gives me like a Haunter Ghastly feel there with weird arms, which is kind of creepy. Okay, I get why it's got weird arms, because the kids are trying to grab it. which, to be fair, that is horrifying that they're all in a graveyard as well. But I could actually see that being Pokemon art, to be fair. It actually kind of looks and feels like a Pokemon. I don't know what you think. Out of all the ones we've had so far today, especially with the last one with Hypno, yeah, actually feels and looks like a Pokemon. Like, the scene kind of gives me Pokemon vibes. I don't know why it does, but yeah, I'd say that's probably the closest one so far. Now onto this next one here. This just gives me Gengar vibes. This is horrific looking Gengar. Like, if Gengar sharpened his teeth and wanted to be all demonic. I don't get what the hell those weird, like, fish looking things are on its body. They're kind of weird. Very, very weird. Like, you got that one, which is just like super shocked and surprised and like, oh my god. And you got that one, which is like, derp, derp, derp. I like the fact that you got like Red and Pikachu, or Ash and Pikachu standing there. You're like, oh my god. Pikachu doesn't seem fussed in the slightest, to be fair. He's like, hey, look at my new friend. But yeah, that's cool. That gives me Pokemon vibes. I quite like that. This next one is freaking weird. Kind of wasn't expecting that. We got some Siamese twins going on there, I think, and like, I guess that actually looks like their pet Pokemon just chilling there. I'm not really sure what that's all about. Does kind of look like a Pokemon. I'll give it that. At first glance, I thought that was a rare candy up the top there. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know what to say. It kind of gives me like an Eevee sort of vibe with like its head. Like, its hands go like pretty brutal and creepy. Like, that's pretty much like Digimon vibes going on there. Then you got like a serpent sort of tail thing going on with a weird foot, I think, coming out the bottom on the left there by the little girl's head, like reaching out to her like, I'm gonna take you away. Alright, on to this last one. This, I'm not really sure what to say about this. It does not give me Pokemon vibes in the slightest. It gives me like horror anime film vibes big time. I don't get why there's loads of grayed out characters at the bottom. They're definitely not Pokemon. That thing could look like a cool Pokemon, to be honest. Looks like an evil, like, I don't know, it's got like chicken feet, so I guess like a Blaziken Gengar combination going on down the bottom there. That thing at the top just looks like a weird mutated flood thing. I'm not really sure what to even say about that. She doesn't look too blasé about it. Is that just like, my bad dreams chasing me? But yeah, that's, I'm not too sure what to say on that one too much. I feel like the editor in me is going to be adding quite a lot more to this. I don't know though. Wait and see. So next one is Kadabra, which I'm quite looking forward to doing as well. Pokemon Emerald was the very first Pokemon game to announce this, but it is rumoured that a boy with psychic abilities suddenly transformed into Kadabra while he was assisting research into extrasensory powers. I mean, for a start, there's a kid with psychic abilities? Like, what? Since when did Pokemon World have some crazy kids with psychic abilities? But yeah, I think this one's pretty messed up. Like, did they just think an Abra was a boy? Or did a boy just transform into a Kadabra? Like, was there like some confusion going on here? Like, I feel like there's definitely some Pokemon using confusion on people here. But in later games such as Fire Red, Sun, and Legends Arceus, it mentions that if it goes near a TV, it will cast a shadow on the screen, bringing the viewer bad luck. Which I feel could actually have cursed the entire human population. But yeah, I think that one's actually quite a dark one. Like, people probably gloss over that and don't think too much of it, but like, it casts a shadow which is on the screen, and anyone who sees it, it just gives them bad luck. So you wouldn't even know, like, you'd be kind of creeped out, like, what the hell, there's a weird shadow on the TV, and like, you're then cursed to always, is that like permanent bad luck? Is that for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, your whole life? Like, man, being like permanently cursed with bad luck just sounds devastating. Like, that actually puts me off wanting to have an Alakazam, because I love Alakazam, one of my favourite Pokemon of all time. But if you have to have a Kadabra which like messes up all your TVs with weird shadows like that, and then you're cursed with bad luck, that doesn't sound like it's worth it. But hey, let's put in the one where it transforms into a boy, because I'm not gonna lie, I want to see what weird messed up stuff this comes up with. Bum, bum, ba, 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 bum. Okay. Slightly sad. I was expecting some more messed up stuff, but hey, going to this very first one, that actually kind of reminds me of Tyrogue a little bit. Kind of like if he had like a fusion with another Pokemon. I'm not too sure what Pokemon because he's freaking got arms and legs and, well, he actually has arms and legs anyway. Does he have hands? I need to have a look. Yeah, I guess he's got 3 fingers. He's just grown another 1 or 2. Alright, on to this next one. A weird, like, Pikachu looking thing. I'm going to ignore this weird Pikachu looking thing and go on to that. I believe that is a baby Mew and Snorlax fusion. Which, to be fair, now I said that, I'm actually going to have to Google up some fusions for that because that sounds like it'd be pretty dope. Okay, next one is going on to another one of, like, the kid is spawning in something yet again, which looks pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of a Jolteon cross, like, Haunter sort of thing, I guess. I don't know, it's got quite a fluffy tail. Kind of reminds me of, like, Eevee's tail, I think? I can't think now, but it definitely reminds me of Jolteon and something, that's for sure. Its knees are really weird. It's like it's got feet on both ends of its legs, I guess. Not much to say on that. I guess it's kind of a cool Pokemon. Wait, is there a Pokemon with a head which is like a triangle? Oh, I don't know. I might have to ask chat on that. Editor, ask chat. Oh wait, that's me. Alright, now onto this last one. A weird Pikachu Charmander sort of thing. Well, more like Pichu Charmander. Looks cool. It does kind of look like a Pokemon, a boy which has turned into a Pokemon, because it kind of looks like, it actually looks like he's wearing a little suit there. Like, you could imagine you could unbutton it and like take off the Charmander tail. I don't know, but yeah, he's holding a book, and in my opinion, that makes me think he's a little human, which has turned into what they think is a Kadabra, which is a Pikachu Charmander hybrid. Which looks cool, does look like a Pokemon, I give it that. It actually looks pretty cool as a Pokemon. I do actually think that's kind of cool. I like it. Cactuar. I'm going to group together a few entries here that might not be worded 100% the same, but they're pretty much the same things. So in Scarlet, Alpha, Sapphire, Y, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and Sapphire, it states, oh my god, there's like a, I don't know what that is. I think there's like a fox making a weird screeching noise. I apologize if you can hear that, but we're going to continue. It states, if a traveller is going through the desert in the thick of night, Cacturn will follow it in a ragtag group, the Pokemon abiding their time, waiting for the traveller to tire and become incapable of moving. Which implies they're going to freaking mess it up, I'm not going to lie. And to be honest, the other entries all hint at how it becomes a bloodthirsty killer when it hunts at night. This is probably due to an emerald that it states its blood transformed into the same substance as sand. Which is kind of freaky if you ask me. So using this description of it's waiting for people to tire in the dead of night, I think we're going to get like a wolf looking thing here, but we'll wait and see. Bum, bum, ba, 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 bum. Okay, so first of all, I love all of these, but going on to this very first one, I think the first one was pretty cool. It shows what appears to be, oh wait, there's more in the background. Oh yeah, okay, that's kind of cool. There's a weird flying horse creature looking thing in the background. Okay, there's some really weird stuff going on in this one. I'm not gonna lie. They've created definitely an entire world here of stuff. Is that like an elephant looking thing in the left? Dude, there's a lot going on here. Let's just focus on the first, the 3 at the beginning. So this looks like a father and wife and a little baby, which I think is pretty cool. So that's like a pre-evolution to this, I would assume. Maybe that could be just 3 stages of evolutions right there. Who knows? But it's kind of cool they're carrying like cactuses on their backs. Not gonna lie, that's kind of cute. They look cool. They definitely look like nighttime hunters. Not much to say. They look like pretty cool Pokemon. I could see these in the Pokemon world. I like the fact that it potentially shows 3 different evolutions or a variance between male and female there, which is kind of cool. Going on to this next one, I mean, there's 2 little bunnies in it, so that's a win from me already. Not gonna lie. They do definitely give off more of a cactus looking vibe. The first one kind of did with the points and stuff, but this one, like, its whole bodied is, and it's also got, like, I don't know, little spikes on it, little barbs on it, or whatever those little lines are. I'm not too sure. It does show yet again 2 different evolution states. A small little brown variant full of spikes, which is kind of cute, and then the adult version. That's a weird, like, pig looking thing as well on the right there. That's kind of weird. I like it. Definitely cool. Definitely gives you the Western sort of feel to it. Could definitely see them as Pokemon, just like the previous ones. I'm not sure which ones I prefer out of the first 2 so far. They're both really solid entries, and the bunnies on this one are definitely selling it to me. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like these give more of a Pokemon feel. The other ones, I don't know. It's hard to say a Pokemon feel. There's freaking thousands of Pokemon now. Like, anything could be a Pokemon. Okay, this one I love. The 2 things up the top actually remind me of, like, that Scorpion Pokemon, which I will Google and throw up on the screen any moment now. Love this backdrop. Again, I don't know why I'm complimenting the backdrops when it's just about the Pokemon. So this, like, kind of reminds me of, like, a lynx. I don't know if you get lynxes in the desert. I think I know of, like, a Canadian lynx. I don't know. I'm gonna have to Google this as well. I'll put it up on the screen so you guys know what I'm referring to. But I was expecting, like, a cat wolf sort of thing. I guess the other ones kind of do look like that as well. They kind of remind me more of, like, dinosaurs and, like, Nidoran, the first 2 in a way. But this definitely looks like a cat sort of lynx looking thing to me. I love the fact it's covered in spikes like that. Looks like it'd be very awkward to fight, I guess, as well, though. Like to actually eat stuff if it's, like, trying to get its head in, like, tight spots because those massive spikes on the back of its neck. But it looks pretty cool. I'd probably say the small Pokemon in it would probably be more accurate to what I would imagine, more so for the cactus thing. But I really like the cat interpretation of it. That looks really awesome. So we've had our cats, we've had our Nidoran interpretations, we've also had, I still can't decide what the weird ones are on the left, but there is definitely a weird horse looking thing in the background. But this is like the bug insect sort of versions. Look really cool, definitely remind me of a Pokemon. I don't know if the thing in the back right and left are part of it or different things. Kind of reminds me of a Blue Eyes White Dragon a little bit. Very little bit. I don't know. There's something I can picture it as, and I can't think what it is. Like that one on the right. I feel like it's like a red Pokemon with, like, metal on it or something. I don't know. I can't think what that reminds me of. But let me know down below. There's a lot of let me know down below. But you better do it. I think it looks cool. Pretty on the big side. It reminds me of freaking Jurassic Park, but you're getting attacked in the desert by these bug creature things. Wait, has it got wings? There looks like there's wings on the one on the left, that's for sure. Don't really see this as a Pokemon. It does look cool, but I definitely prefer the other 3 over this one. Jellicent. This first entry I will read doesn't sound too bad, but when you combine it with the second one, it's kind of shocking. In Pokemon Black, it states, "The fate of the ships and crew that wander into Jellicent's habitat, all sunken, all lost, all vanished." But then, in White's, they propel themselves by expelling absorbed seawater from their bodies. In which, I now know you're kind of like, what, Elwood? But trust me, it gets worse. Their favourite food is life energy. I'm not even going to put a stupid voice into reading this bit. Their favourite food is life energy. Like, what the fuck, dude? This thing can't wait to consume any living organism and drain its life energy. That's what I got from both of these. However, I just found out from just quickly checking something. Hello, Hugo. In Ultra Moon, it states that the fishermen are just terrified of Jellicent, and it's rumoured that they drag them into the sea to steal their lives away. Like, what? So we're going to put that one in instead of what I was going to do. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. They're all pretty awesome. This one, by far, the very first one is the best. He has a freaking hat. Enough said. Don't think I need to say anymore. I mean, his left arm is kind of messed up. It's like got two hands, but all the better to grab you with. I mean, there's two guys there, and he's holding a Pokeball, so he kind of needs to have one arm with two hands, so he can get both the dudes. I mean, I'm making good excuses for it, and I like it. Love the weird Gyarados sort of. It has like more of like a Chinese sort of feel to it. I really, really like that. And like, there's a weird Pokeball flying bird thing. Awesome. This next one looks like another scary fish. I don't get why the dude is underwater. It definitely kind of looks like he's underwater with a gun, but he seems to be breathing or holding his breath quite well and ready to mess him up as the dude is stealing his lunch. I guess the life force now comes in a lunchbox. Definitely gives me a Gyarados feel. I like the fact that they kind of have like a rip-off Magikarp there as well. Definitely feel like it's their weird, scary version of Gyarados, which I'm not gonna lie, I love it. I absolutely love it. Then we got ourselves a Tentacruel looking thing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle in the boat. Yeah, that looks kind of scary. I mean, he doesn't look scared, to be honest. I don't think that captivates. I mean, to be fair, the actual Pokemon doesn't look scary in the slightest, because as you all know, this Pokemon looks like a cute little fluffy thing. The male version. Okay, their eyes look really freaking creepy, but the rest of them looks all cute and fluffy. So, you know, that's something, I guess. Moving on. This, I just don't like it. It doesn't look Pokemon. It's not got the right art style. I mean, none of it really is the right art style. We all know that. But, yeah, I don't know. It's stealing fish. Yeah, I mean, it does have a hat. It's a pretty cool hat. I kind of like it. It's not too bad. I like it, but it's definitely not better than the rest. I mean, the very first one wins by a long shot. Palisand. I honestly don't know where to start with this one, or what entry I'm even going to use. So for now, I'll just say all the messed up ones that I've regrettingly come across. In Pokemon Moon. Buried beneath the castle are masses of dried bones from those whose vitality has been drained. In which I was like, okay, that's kind of messed up, as you can imagine. Then I read Ultra Suns and it stated, each of the grains of sand has its own will. Palisand eats small Pokemon and siphons away their vital essence while they're still alive. Which, in my opinion, is just way worse. But just doesn't stop there. In Pokemon Sword, Palisand is known as a beach nightmare. It pulls its prey down into the sand by controlling the sand itself, and then sucks out their souls. Okay, this thing sounds like a freaking nightmare. I don't think I'm ever going to the beach again, that's for sure. Especially in the Pokemon universe, like, what the frick? Then even Scarlet has a pretty messed up one. The terrifying Palisand drags smaller Pokemon into its sandy body. Once its victims are trapped, it drains them of their vitality whenever it pleases. So what, like, it just traps them in there for like, the rest of their life? Why, it just... a bit of vitality. Thank you for a bit of vitality whenever it pleases. Like, what the fuck? Ultra Sun takes the win with the messed up entry, so I think we're going to go with that one. Let's see what that one does. Okay, weird. This one only gave 3. Let's try to be a bit quick with these, because I feel like I've just dribbled on quite a lot with those. Yet again, I probably shouldn't talk about the background with this first one, or any of them, but the background looks amazing. None of them look like sand creatures, but this definitely gives me the sort of like desert creature. It's like a scorpion bug sort of thing. I quite like it. I like the weird horn in the middle and the spiky head. Doesn't look like it's gonna control the sand and capture everyone and all of that, so I don't really see anywhere where it can like consume them in its body, so I'm not a fan of the first one. The second one looks pretty cool. I like this sort of like beastie dragon type body. Got a weird third art hand from a tentacle looking thing. I kind of like that, I guess. 3 arms, you never know when you need an extra hand. Love the fact that it looks like it's controlling the sand and everything like that though, so I guess how it can like mimic the sand and bring them in and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. The very last one, I actually love that. I think that would be a cool Pokemon. It's a shame the art style isn't more of the like hand-drawn Pokemon sort of art style rather than this attempt for realism, I guess you would want to call it. But I really like the design. I think it's kind of cute and a little bit menacing at the same time. Its body looks like it's oozing sand, so in my opinion it looks like it could trap them within it, and yeah. Yamask. This one isn't really dark and messed up, but it is really sad. But it depends on how you look at things. I mean, you could think this is messed up, so I thought I'd mention it. So in Black, Y and Sapphire, it states, each of them carries a mask. There used to be its face. When it was human? What? Sometimes they look at it and cry. Like, which I think is just devastating, and this Pokemon must be the loneliest bugger around. So I guess let's just see what the AI comes up with. Okay, all of them kind of cool and messed up at the same time. So, okay, we got this first one. Definitely doesn't look like a Pokemon. It's got multiple hands touching it. It's kind of sad though. They're definitely heavily going on the crying and the mask aspect. Not a Pokemon. I'm sorry. If that behind it's meant to be a Pokemon, that just looks like a mangled bit of flesh, and that's kind of grim. So moving on to the next one. Really like it. Looks like they're all made of like Play-Doh. Is it Play-Doh? Yeah, I guess so. They all kind of look like weird Pokemon. I mean, that looks like Score Bunny, I guess. You got a weird Eevee, you got some scary ass face things, and yeah, you got some wannabe Pokemon there, that's for sure. Yeah, again, don't really feel like it's Pokemon. I think it's kind of cute that it's holding a mask, but let's move on to the third one. This one is probably the closest thing that we've had to a Pokemon in this bit so far. I think it's really cool. The mask is crying, which is kind of cute. Not really, he should be crying looking at the mask, but you know, it kind of works. I kind of like it. It's pretty cool. Probably the best one on this list, or on this bit so far out of these four. But then we have this last one, which is kind of creepy. I think it's just a human girl with a weird cat mask, sort of bunny cat mask thing going on with, is that purple eyes coming? I think there's multiple eyes on that, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's a human. That in the same category as the first one doesn't really count as a Pokemon. So I'm really enjoying the messed up side of Pokemon, and I think I'll probably do another one, as I'm already researching more, and I've already found out that Meowstic, Phantump and Gorgeist have some pretty messed up entries too, and I'm sure there's many more. So if you want to see more of this series, make sure you like and subscribe, so then I can reward myself with a cookie.
I'm gonna kill you.
If you know of any messed up Pokemon entries and want me to cover them, then please let me know down below in the comments section. You guys have been amazing, where I've just been Elwood from Not So Serious Gaming. Hope you have a great morning, evening, night, whatever freaking time it is. I hope you have a great one. Peace out, guys. That was all for you guys. So thank you so much, Senator and Brody, to being the main two guys who have carried me through to become the very best. Like no one ever was. We are the champion. Hell yeah. Woo woo.